Facebook, right? I'm sure it ended up on anybody's. Is when that big dude comes to your gym, right? I know you probably already talked about it, but I got to know because I wasn't there for the story earlier. But it's got like 277,000 views. 300,000 now or something, whatever it is on YouTube. It's like
I'm half of those views. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But this is like so. Let's go from the beginning. When is this roughly?
Was 2 weeks ago, I guess. 2 weeks ago.
So where?
It was my school in Tampa.
In Tampa.
Yeah, and first of all, I think like I want to just like some people like I did a check. Honestly, I don't go check all that. So, but I know some people they'll talk about like that fake, that's like a publicity. Man, I've been competing since I was 10 years old. I've been competing at the top level. I competed as the most tough guys on jiu-jitsu. I won like so many world titles in my life. I fought MMA in Japan. I don't need this kind of publicity in my school, and myself as well. Just to let these guys, a couple guys, they'll talk about like, crap here and there. But, this guy, like, he walked in my school. I wasn't in my school, honestly. Like, I was home. I was on Tuesday, and it was my home. And so Sunday I walked to my school. This guy was already there for 45 minutes. And then my wife told me, hey, please, can you tell this guy to leave? Because he has been here for 45 minutes. It just getting annoying. And I told my wife, listen, I'm not going to waste my time with this guy. I got so many things to do. So I walked to my office. I dropped my gis, all my stuff there. So when I walked back, I heard this guy say to my one of my black belts, my black belt's like Rodrigo Prachete. He's like 205, 200 plus, and a big kid, and but very nice, very humble. And I heard this guy say to my guy, I give you $20 for 20 minutes of fight. When I heard that.
So he says to you guys.
To my guy.
To Rodrigo, he says, $20, I want 20 minutes of fight.
Yeah.
You hear it.
When I heard that, I flipped. Wait a minute. I walked to him and said, hey, buddy, what's the deal? And he said the same thing to me. He said, well, I just want to give $20 for a 20 minutes fight. And then I told him, well, it is not about that. So when he kept saying like he was too strong, he was too heavy, all his street fighting deal, is go to the bar, grab his knife, this thing like you hear every day, like, people try to like put themselves like, high levels, skills, whatever. And I told him like, look, man, it's not about size. And he told me, no, you have no idea how strong I am.
Does he have his shirt on or off at this point?
No.
Is it on?
I had no idea who he was talking about. And I told him, hey, buddy, I'm going to give you a deal. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. If I do beat you up in 5 minutes, if I do beat you up in 5 minutes, I want you sign here in the school and become a student.
So you offered him
right away. That was my deal. And he said, no, I cannot sign because my work schedule, whatever. So on that point, I already knew the guy was not there to learn. He was there to, test himself. But good thing the guy was not being like physically aggressive. He was not being like verbal aggressive, like say bad words. He was on that point. The only thing he didn't believe was the jiu-jitsu couldn't work against him because he was a big guy. He was 306 pounds.
Yeah, you looked big.
Yeah. And then I told him, look, sign the waves, and we're going to do that no matter what. So he signed the wave, and I walked to my office. I grabbed my mouthpiece. Because, again, on that point, I didn't know. I don't know who's the guy. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to try to strike me. On my mind, I put, okay, this guy's going to come. I'm going to flip to his back. I'm going to put him to sleep. That was my plan, right? So this guy walked to the bathroom. He was 10 minutes to lock himself in the bathroom. I got a little concerned about because I don't know if the guy has a knife, a gun, or something. He was in the bathroom for too long. I walk on the mat. I was stepping right in the middle of my mat with my mouthpiece on, and then he walk on the mat, take his t-shirt off, take everything off from his pocket, look to me, and then when he seen me in the mouthpiece, he said, "Oh, no striking, no punching and kicking." And I said, "Okay, fair enough, right?" And I told him, "Look, do what you gotta do. I'm not gonna hurt you." So then we grappled, we started, then he came to my world, jiu-jitsu, right? And I just did the video show, and on the end I told him, look, man, I hope you can become a student, I hope you can come here, train, and I know jiu-jitsu is going to be a big change on your life, and And the guy, oh yeah, I'll see, blah blah blah. Anyway, he left. He disappeared. And next day he called back in the school. He was all mad because the videos,
Oh, so before he left, you it's what we see on the video, right? You pretty much beat him up.
Yeah.
You don't beat him. You beat him up. Yeah, you beat him up. You handled him. I watched it. My favorite part of that is when you shoot in for the double leg.
Yeah.
Right? And I started laughing because I'm like,
and the guy, honestly, the guy, he knew what he was doing. If you see the video,
he did.
The first time I put him down, I moved to I moved to single leg because in my mind, like, okay, you go to single leg, you take his one leg off the floor, 306 pounds standing on one leg, no way he can keep his base. He's, talking about like a heavy guy. So I was able to, when I put him down, he tried to sweep me, he tried to flip me over, but I was able to keep my base. Then I caught him on the guillotine, and then the next one, I tried to shoot a double leg, and he shooting me down.
Then you switched to an X guard.
Then I switched X guard to knee lock. So then we did again. And we did again to me, I'm not going to go to this guy leg because he's already know what he's doing. So I flipped to arm drag, went behind the back, tried to trap him to the floor, but he was too big. Then moved to single leg again. And then got him again on the guillotine.
So you skip, like when you're telling the story, you skip the whole fight part, right? Which is you're like, yeah, he came, and then the next day he got mad that it was on
He
YouTube.
was mad, and he called the school. He was all mad, upset about the video, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna. He was telling me he's gonna sue me. He's gonna lawsuit me here and there. And I told him, buddy, you walk in my school. You put yourself in a situation. I don't have no idea who you are. I didn't walk to your place. You came to me, so you gotta do what you gotta do. If you wanna lawsuit me, just make yourself comfortable. And then. So I had a couple of my students, they're like, they are attorneys, they are lawyers, and they like, man, don't waste your time. I'll talk to this guy. But it seems like everything's cooled down now, and just that what happened. It was the first time it happened to me, and honestly, I didn't know that was still happening until today,
what's interesting about that whole story is at the beginning, you kind of caught me off guard when you said he came in, he said $20 for 20 minutes, and you said, okay, but if.
And by the way, I didn't take the $20. I should.
He kept it. He kept it.
He kept. I should take the $20.
Yeah, but what's interesting for me in that is when you mentioned, you said, "Hey, I offered him." I said, "All right, you could be a student here." What was your thought process in that when you're like, okay, this guy wants to come in and fight me at my own place, but I guess what I'll do is if you want to do this, we'll do this, but also here's my hand.
Yeah, because I want to help the guy. Like I said, my school, it's open to help anybody. It don't matter, because I believe 100% on jiu-jitsu. No matter who you are, jiu-jitsu can change your life.
He's lucky too. He's lucky he came to you because there's a lot of black belts out there that would have. I'm sitting there laughing because I was like, man, I wish Robson would roll me that lightly.
No, because I watched it. I showed my wife, and
it's amazing.
She knows nothing, and she goes, right off the bat, she goes, oh my God.
It's amazing the power that jiu-jitsu has, but there are some mean people. I'm not talking like good jiu-jitsu people. They're really good at jiu-jitsu. There are a lot of mean people. If he'd have gone into somebody else's school like that, he said to say no, bad shoulder, they'd have jumped on that arm in a heartbeat and not have cared.
And honestly, the guy, he wasn't a bad guy, like I said. I don't know who the guy is, honestly, but he wasn't physically aggressive. He was just the guy. He didn't believe the jiu-jitsu could work against him. That's what was his opinion. That's fine. So I was, I proved to him his opinion was not right about the jiu-jitsu. So my whole point is, I hope I was able to teach him something. He's gonna care for his life. He's not gonna jump in somebody's school, try to do that anymore. I still hope one day he can walk back into my school, and become my student. Like, who knows, and I'm always open for do that. I'm not, honestly, I have no hard feeling at all.